We are live. I think we're live everywhere. How is it looking on your end, Jahjehan?
We are live now on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube,
And
here,
LinkedIn too. LinkedIn too.
LinkedIn.
Welcome, welcome. We're back. It has been a few days, right? So we were live.
Last Thursday or Friday.
So it has been a few days, and the celestial weather has already shifted, and so we are back with a new update. We're back with some details, and we're gonna hang out today, share with you what is moving through the energy of the moment, so that you can get in flow, stay in flow, take advantage, and maximize this very special manifestation moment. If
Yes.
you're coming in, tuning in from wherever, say hi. Say hi. We can see your comments. We are live. If you have any questions, feel free to post them in the relevant chat boxes. And we will get back to you. If you are listening to the recorded version of this on the podcast, Spotify, Apple Music, streaming services, come by, say hey. We are also on YouTube, and there are some slides that you can reference if you're like, ooh, I wish I had that. And we also have little markers within YouTube that you can pop around and find information. So with that, what are you drinking, Shahjahan?
I am drinking my old but good Earl Grey because
Mm,
this is how I'm feeling today. Sleepy. So I needed a caffeine hit.
I love that. I'm a piggy today. Like she's like,
I love your like sassy cow.
oh my God. It's such a
Is it
cow.
a bull or a cow? I can't see the horns. Or is it a deer?
I really thought it was a pig for a second.
Oh no, that's totally
Only
that's
a
a
cow.
yeah.
But but because she's pink and she has the nose,
Uh-huh.
it
She
was
does.
pig for me. So a piggy cow. Uh, so I'm actually drinking coffee, which is rare, but Mallory's in town and she made
Ah,
coffee. So she made me some coffee, and I'm having my coffee with hawthorn berry. So a
ooh, nice.
little hawthorn berry coffee moment for me. And then what are you drinking? I saw the mug, but what's in it?
I was gonna say, I'm drinking Earl Grey and I've got white yarrow over there that I'm also dropping.
Oh, yarrow so yummy.
Yes.
Yarrow so yummy. Okay. Let's jump on in, shall we? So, celestial flow, we're going to be covering today. So, the 20th of Jan, all the way through the 27th. So, a full week this time. We're going to be talking about the new year. We're still in the new moon energy. And so, we'll deep dive a little bit more on that. We also spoke about it last week. So, feel free to check out our last episode. And we are coming up on the Human Design New Year and the Gate 41 transit, which gets active tomorrow. Uh,
Yes.
tomorrow night, tomorrow evening.
8 p.m. Well, Eastern. I'm Eastern. So yeah, tomorrow evening we all move into the seeds of dreaming and imagination.
All right.
Empathy.
So jumping in today's flow. So in today's celestial flow, we're going to be talking new moon, new year. We're going to have a little new year manifestation moment. So if you want to be part of this yummy ritual candle that I've been working on, infusing it since this morning with all sorts of good juju and yummy manifestation energy. If you want to be part of it, definitely stay tuned, hang out. Also, feel free to drop a comment, and I'll add you to our blessings, our manifestations. We're also going to speak on the human design transit that we're still moving through, Gate 60. She's been
I'm just gonna laugh at her because she's been fun.
she's been salty. So we'll get into that, and then the next transit 41, we'll speak to that. We'll have a little prioritization moment. There is a catalyst question in there, and then we're going to be talking about Gate 8 in the long-term transits as well. All right. So with that, we're going to first start off with Tulum. There are 24 days before Jagahan and I will be hanging out with some of y'all on a beach in Tulum for life changing energy and a life changing homecoming. So 24 days from now, we have our Partners in Prosperity event, and 38 days from now, we have our Personal Power event. These are during a supercharged eclipse season with once in a lifetime energetic moments. And
Mhm.
we spoke about them on the last live, last episode. And you're invited. We still have some spots in the villa. If you're like, this is the year I'm going to step it up from a love perspective, this is the year I'm going to rise in my power and do that without any kind of shame, fear, frustration. Come on through. We will be your traveling partners, and we are going to have a grand old time on a beautiful 4-star resort by the beach with me, you, Jahjehan, shamans, curanderas. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes, I cannot wait. And I feel like, there's so much going on right now, and this is an event that will ground you back into yourself and into your power and into your partnership so that you can actually focus on what your energy is meant to be focused on. And we're not telling you what that is. We're just inviting you to reground into yourself and to shed the things that are potentially holding you back from doing what you're here to do.
Discover potentially as well. Some of us, we don't feel like we have that clarity, and this is
True.
a beautiful moment for it to emerge. So, with that, let's jump on in to the updates that we have for y'all today. This new moon, y'all, it's like this new moon. It's been a very special one. So I put up this slide. We spoke about the new moon. This is a little bit more into astrology, and astrology and me, like we're here, and we're here sometimes. So if I say anything that you're like, that's not exactly correct, take it with a grain of salt. But I believe the term is stellium. So I don't know about the specific astrology term, but right now, when you look at the actual star map, the new moon in Capricorn was very much in alignment with Mercury, Venus, the Sun, and Mars. So this is why this is super potent manifestation energy. For me, I like to look at which planets are in the same place because it allows me to really think about what can I use this for in terms of when I'm doing my candle rituals, etc. But right now, communication, action, love, abundance, personality, divine knowing are all coming together all at the same time. And what's fun is, as we said, the moon shifted into Aquarius. And so this is really taking us on a next level of like, what do I get to do? What changes potentially do I get to make to really be in alignment with being like the goat that I am,
Mhm.
the greatest of all time version of myself? And how does that step into my actions that I'm going to take in the world?
Yeah, and Aquarian energy to me, I have an Aquarian. My oldest is an Aquarian, and it is the person who is not afraid to be themselves, to be different, to be, as my one friend says, like the alien. Um, Aquarians are also very tied into technology. And it's really like this Capricorn new moon shifting into Aquarian to me is like the energy of what am I ready to commit to and how am I going to do it differently? Like, how am I going to follow my own knowingness into what I'm building forward? Because the world loves to tell us how to do things, but I always like to say, you're the only person who knows how you're meant to do things. And so this energy is really stepping in. And so if you're feeling like I had a moment the other day as I was feeling into the energy's moon and I was doing something and I was feeling like all the advice I was getting to do it was going completely against what my own internal knowingness was telling me. And I got to make the choice like, no, I'm following this because the people pleaser in me rose up and was trying to be like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll do it this way." And the anger in my manifestor self was rising at the same time. And I was like, Oh, oh, pay attention, Jaji.
Ooh, and
Into
people
your
please is such a yummy word right now because
Mhm,
I'm watching some of my clients real time move through their moments of struggle and dip back into their previous people pleaser. And
mhm.
it's literally painful to watch
Yeah.
because what what we sometimes forget is sometimes when I work with people, I'll distinctly talk about your personal journey, your prosperity journey, and your partnership journey as if they're singular because so many people want to divide up themselves. Like that's
Mhm,
what a lot of people do, but they are all the same. So I'm watching people, to be very specific, have learned lessons in one area of their life. Now another area is popping up and they're switching behavior and moving back into people pleasing. Like,
yeah.
okay, I've done the work and in my business, I'm like this, but oh, I just got home and just, for my husband, I need to do this. No.
Yeah.
Apply to you across the board. And this energy and these limitations, what we're seeing, what I'm seeing at least, is a lot of people shift into different iterations, different, almost like different integrity measures,
Mhm.
each area instead of being clean across the board. And I really believe that it's people pleasing that's making that come into fold, you
Yeah.
know?
I know I've been seeing it not just with my clients, but in my own life.
Mhm.
I noticed a shift between my business and my family, and it was like, "Oh." And the beautiful thing is once you've been doing this work for a while, you see it very quickly and you get to make a different choice. I always say, like, every breath is a chance to begin again. And it's just actually the practice of recognizing it because you always have the power to make a different choice. You are always in control, whether you realize it or not. It's just that you may think when you say, "Oh, I can't," that's you giving away your choice.
And I love that you brought up I can't because the other thing that I've been hearing a lot is the have tos coming back. People that have trained with me for months on releasing words of obligation are now all of a sudden saying, have to, have to, have to, have to, have to. And I'm
Mhm.
just like, okay.
Yes.
But I'm like, let me wait and see if you hear it. So if you find yourself slipping into obligation, some of like my husband is a Capricorn, and I have several Capricorn moons are attracted to me. So I
Mm,
have several Capricorn moons in my life. And when you get into Capricorn energy, sometimes it's easy to slip into the obligation energy. And
yeah.
moving out into this moment, it feels like there's momentum building as we're stepping into horse. And a lot of people are backsliding into obligation. So if you find yourself backsliding, like Joshi said, every moment we can just
Mhm.
choice. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, catch yourself. It's a moment.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like when we're making forward growth, oftentimes that's when we will backslide because it's comfortable back there. Like we know how we act back there. It's like when we're growing forward, we're expanding into something new. And that's really the energy we're moving into, not just with the Fire Horse New Year, but also with this week with the Human Design New Year.
Yeah. And we'll get back into this. I think this part of the conversation more when we get into gate 60, because again, uh, with the limitations that may be popping up for some of us, again, the backslide is to me a normal reaction when we have yet to make full peace with the discomfort and the fact that it is working for us.
Mm-hmm.
Popping in to this beautiful, beautiful slide deck. So with the moon, and I put you up there. We both, hey, hey. We're
Thank
both
you.
like, go
Hot
ahead,
seat.
Tasha. I'm gonna sit back here. So this is I've been just popping around on the astrology corner of the internet. Um, many and pretty much everyone's agreeing this is going to be one of the most powerful lunations of the year for manifestation. And I think it was Spirit Daughter. I really liked how she talked about it being a megaphone to our intentions.
Mm,
So This really is a moment for dreaming plus action, but also, and this is my note, not allowing our actions to limit our dreams. So sometimes we project forward into the actions that are necessary and we limit our dreams. I'll give you my example with music. I was like, well, I need to do this and this and this and this first. AI turned that all upside down. I'm
Mhm.
now producing music before I've learned to sing the music and learning to sing the music after the music is produced. We have that type of, like, you would literally have AI and things like this are going to keep happening where the what was impossible will become possible. So currently impossible realities are taking form, especially because of technology.
Mhm.
So if you project out into the future saying, well, I'm not going to be able, I shouldn't dream this because it's not possible, you will limit yourself.
Exactly. Because that's the thing. You are creating what's possible for you. Even if you don't think it's possible, if it's pulling you forward, there's a way, you just haven't found it yet.
And or the universe hasn't supplied it yet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't exist, and maybe it's coming through you because it's meant to come through you through you.
Like your body, or your whatever we want to call it, almost knows what's coming, even though it's
Mhm.
not just to you yet. And so it's
Yeah,
preparing you. Like that's really how I feel, or what I. It's not how I feel. It's what I've witnessed in my life. Like
yeah, myself as well.
I'm like, okay. I guess you knew that was happening because I surely did not.
Yeah,
So, so okay, thank you for that.
exactly.
So now, and then we've already talked about how we're starting, like the Saturn to Neptune shift is happening. So it's actually already starting into Aries, and the world order is shifting. So Aries really is a reboot. And what's fun is when I've looked at the date for this, originally I was finding more in alignment with Lunar New Year 20th, but Gaul is the cosmic navigator. He's one of the astrologists I work with, and that I
Mhm.
really I love his work. Like I've read his book over the last couple of years, and I'm like, okay, like that's, he honestly is very into the storytelling aspect of astrology, which is one of the aspects that I have issue with sometimes because we can all tell whatever story we want. But I do love a good Gaul reading, and especially with his dates. And he was saying February 14th is actually when we're going to start feeling this shift. And so that was wild to me. So somewhere between the 14th, 20th, by the way, when we're in Tulum for both retreats.
Mhm.
And so just again, we got momentum building for what I'm calling like the dreaming to done moment. We got
Mhm.
turning upside its head, but everything is being coordinated for those who are going to be moving at the pace that allows them to take advantage of this.
Yes.
Okay, I got a question for you, Jahjehan, and for everyone. When does the new year start for you? When does the
Want me
new
to answer that?
Yeah, yeah.
It does not start January 1st. January 1st, I'm like taking my tree down, cleaning my house. Um, the new year actually starts this is usually around the time that my energy to like really focus into the new year comes in, which the human design new year starts tomorrow on the 21st. The Chinese New Year is coming up. Then the spring equinox. The spring equinox for me, honestly, is almost like the culmination of I've gotten all of my energy aligned to take off.
Mhm,
That's when, and I think the spring equinox this year is around March 20th.
mhm.
So we'll have just completed our time in Tulum and come back and gotten really clear. And that's when I know my energy is just, I'm actually clearing the last 3 months of the spring for a big project that's clarified, um, to that I thought I was going to be putting on the back burner. And I'm like, that is my new year. That is the focus. I am now clearing everything so that that can come in. So that's for me. How about you?
It's so interesting because I had one answer. So I've been playing with this for the last 3 years. When does the new year start? So ever
Mhm,
since I found out there's like a human design new year, and then I started doing qigong. Qigong has jis, and so I have been playing around with this concept of like when does the new year start for a while,
mhm,
and I'm realizing that it's slightly different each year for me. So like last year was definitely the spring equinox is when it started kind of coming through.
mhm,
It was such a funky and rocky energetic period that I really didn't start activating until May. Like May was when I was like, okay, we're in this. And I've been in it since then.
mhm,
But I'm now wrapping up things from last year, and they will officially be wrapped up in March with this retreat, right? So like it
mhm.
not retreat, this homecoming.
Homecoming retreat.
I'm like, it's not a retreat though. You know me with my words,
I
but
know, it's not an escape, it's a homecoming.
but but hey, you know, whatever you want to call it is what it is, right? And so human design, these are the dates that are correct, yes. So one of the dates I love is the Jie. So in Qigong, there is a seasonal Qigong that my Qigong master taught me, and it uses a 24 date calendar. So the year split into 24 dates based on the shifts of the sun. And since I'm such a solar girl, like the solar transits are my babe, this is also like a framework that I use pretty consistently. And what they say is around the 3rd of February through the 18th, so building up to the new year, this is when the warming yang energy really starts reemerging.
Mm,
And so the lunar new year pops in around that time because it's like this is when the snow melts and this warming energy truly comes in. And so perhaps this year for me, like that's the warm up.
mhm.
And then I know like by March, I'm fully kicking. And we'll see what blooms in the spring equinox.
Yes.
Shout out to Maria. Maria is a witch that I work with. She's kind of a globetrotter, but she's based in Mexico.
Dubai? Oh, Mexico?
She's literally in Dubai last week and is now in Mexico. That's why it's taking me a while. Yes. And Magic Cookie on Instagram. And so she literally was like, yeah, your stuff's blooming in March. So I was talking to her about my business plans, and she was giving a reading, and she's like, yeah, March is your date. I was so salty back then because this was really November, and I wanted things to be done by then. And
Mm,
she's like, they're coming together in March.
yeah, you can't force the flowers.
And so I was like, I guess I'm a different type of flower this year. And so
Mm,
it moves around, but I think I embraced this concept with saltiness in years past, where I was like, fine, fuck it. The new year is not my year because I didn't get my shit done. So my new year is now. Not year. Okay, it's now. Lunar New Year. It's now. Like, and this year, my big thing is like release the timeline and also give yourself some grace. And if you're not feeling the energy yet, it may be because for you, it's not there yet.
yes, that right there. Because that's the thing, follow the energy that is building for you. And that's why, like I was saying, my New Year shifts, and I know that it's almost like my spring cleaning happens before spring arrives, so that once spring comes, that's the energy returning, because the equinox is when there's the rebalancing of the light and the dark, and we're actually building, yeah, well, it's the perfect balance. And for me, it's just the energy returns. I'm a solar babe too. You and I are both Geminis. I'm a June birthday. You're a May birthday. Like,
Shout out to the May
us, yes.
and,
Shout out to Geminis. You're fabulous. um,
and Cancer moons.
and Cancer moons. Yes. Feel and talk all about the feelings, which is why we're here.
Okay, okay, I love it. So we are gonna have a little manifestation moment, and if you're here with us, we got a couple people live. Definitely throw it up in the comments as well. What are you ready for in February? What are you ready for in March? What are you ready for in 2026? What are you calling in? And
Mm.
so that's kind of the question I want to ask you, Jaji. And I will sometimes, I got a little candle over here. So I'll sometimes work with a candle whenever I feel in that mode and just call out what I'm calling in. And this may be a difficult task for people right now. Like some people may be looking at this like, I do not know.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, we've got more on more little prompts that can help you after this. But Jaji, what are you most ready for? Just first thing that comes through.
I am most ready to birth the 64 Gates card deck and bring this into the world in 2026. That's actually what's been coming through. I'm also ready to be on a beach in Tulum with all the people who are choosing in with us. And that's really it for right now.
Me, what's coming up, what I'm most ready for is freedom. And it's literally freedom from building my websites. Like I
Mm,
put all this love into them, but I'm ready to use them. I'm ready to do some other things. And so
yeah.
I'm ready for the freedom of being able to just use the system that I'm building instead of building the system, because the combo of building the system while also maintaining my client load and everything else has just been like enough but robust, and I'm just over it. Like I'm ready to be done with it. Like, and I love doing it, but there's new, more exciting things that I'm ready to just like jump into full force. So
Yeah.
what am I ready for in February? What are you ready for in February?
A beach. Yeah, I'm ready for rest, but also energy.
Hmm. So when I close my eyes, I'm ready for a temescal. Like I literally see
Mm.
us like in the temescal.
I'm ready for a temescal. I think that's the rest, but energize. Because that's energize, and then you call out and need to rest.
Yes. But yeah, I'm ready for that, and I'm actually ready for the in between the two, like in between our two,
Retreats, because you're
like
staying.
I'm gonna stay there in Mexico,
Mhm.
and I feel like there's just gonna be some things that flow through, and mom's coming, so that's gonna be really fun. So it's like the clients in the Temescal, and just the what they walk out like, and then okay, in March.
I want you to go first.
Yeah, in March, it's a very interesting thing that's coming up, and it's like me. I'm just literally telling you what's coming, like a visual, and it's just me. It's me swimming in a beach. But I think I'm pregnant. I'm like
Ooh.
beach pregnant. My husband has been predicting my pregnancy, and he wants a Capricorn baby, and I was like, no, please no. Love them. No offense to my Capricorns, but it's tough as a Gemini in these streets. But yeah, I'm like, I think that part, just being done with this baby,
Mm,
able to move on to like the future babies, and just a feeling of completion is actually what's happening for me in March.
mm.
And just like being like, it's both the completion and the beginning. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah.
I love that. I feel like that's actually what I'm looking forward to, because what's coming to me is me essentially not closing myself away, but essentially flowing with my creative urge to completion for the things that have been coming through me. And this is how my energy works. Like I almost know, I can sense and I can set up when I need to inform everyone, like, hey, don't bother me. And so that's what I feel like. I'm going to be coming back from Tulum with the energy to be in my own energy and flow into creating what's wanting to come through me.
Mhm. And then in 2026, I'm looking forward to my multi-million dollar year. That
Mm,
full of fun because I will be in Africa with mom. I'll be making products. My medicine's coming out to the world for the first time, like in so many forms. Like the medicine, like physical oxybells are coming through, physical candles are coming through. My music's coming through. It literally feels like I'm exploding out into the world, which I really believe is so many people's possibility right now for 2026. And I just feel like I'm going to be doing that. And the money that has been accumulated in the rituals I've done, I see them is going to flow through. And I'm going to watch other people in this like explosion. And it's just going to be this massive collective and tribal energy. It's very money channel of me to be saying this, but like that's what it is, right? The money channel loves making money for other people. And so
mhm,
I just see me, my friends, making a whole boatload of like money, resource, impact for the world in an important time, in integrity, and
mhm,
it being really fucking fun. Like that's I see that like just and
mhm.
that is what I'm excited for in 2026.
I love it. I love it. And what I'm excited for is to rise. That is my word for the 2026. Somebody was like, "What's your word?" I was like, "I don't usually do words," but then that one popped in right after I said, "I don't usually do words." Um,
Shebala.
because I feel like I have been hiding. Shebala knows this. Um, and it's almost like I've been cooking. I've been cooking behind the scenes, and I'm almost ready to serve up all of me.
Rise in your power is what I'm always like. Rise, rise. I don't
Right?
know if you the Spotlight Energy song. Have you heard that one?
Mm-mm. I don't think I have.
I'll play it for you at some point in time. Probably
Okay.
it says so rise. Like it's a whole thing.
I
Um,
am ready for that.
so we're gonna wrap up with what are you calling in? And so again, we put these prompts, we walk through them ourselves, but this is for you. Take a moment, sit down, move through these, and then ask yourself what you're calling in.
Mm.
Um, oh, I love it. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy.
Hey.
Cindy, what are you what are you calling through? What are you calling through? You know, what are you calling through? So what am I calling in? Honesty. Uh,
Mm.
that's what came up. Honesty. Honesty with myself as I move through this process. Just straight honesty. I really believe that if I'm honest with myself and with others as I flow through this process, like honest and in integrity, everything will line up. And that honesty with my internal guidance system, that's what's going to make all of this go through. Um,
I love that.
what are you calling in?
Joy. I'm just calling in joy because, as Cindy said, I have been hiding for a long time. Cindy knows me. She's,
Cindy, let's get her
yeah,
out.
I know, right?
Not anymore. Like, let's pause for a second. Jahjehan, are you hiding right now?
A little bit still, yes.
A little bit, but you have been emerging. Like,
I have been emerging. I have cocooned in my chrysalis, and the goo has reformed, and I've got a wing tucked out.
there we go.
I've got a wing tucked out, and I'm almost. I am ready to tuck out the other one and emerge in joy and flutter around and be seen and share what I have to share. So I am ready. So I'm
Love
calling in joy.
for the folks who are here with us. If there's something you're calling in, please put it in the comments. I'm going to take a moment and I'm actually going to charge this candle, and anyone who ends up participating will be part of it. And so, what are we calling in? I put joy and honesty. How do you want it to feel? For me, I'm going to put I want it to feel easeful. Sometimes we will make manifestations, but we forget. Like I can call in a multi-million dollar year, but does that feel stressful, panicked,
Mhm.
rushed? because that can happen. I'm like, I know what that feels like. But mine, I want it to feel easeful and in on integrity at all times, and just feel like bold too. Like that's my version of it. I want it to feel that way. Someone put that in my candle. Jahjehan, let me know how you want it to feel.
I mean, I feel like I just want to piggyback on what you said. Like, I would like it to feel easeful and joyful and aligned.
All right. So easeful, joyful, aligned, in integrity, multi-million-dollar year,
Mm-hmm.
completion, honesty.
And Cindy says fun.
Yes, Cindy with the fun. Just going to ask for some extra fun for Cindy as she moves through this 2026. Thank you for being here, Cindy. Awesome. And thank you for receiving our little smiles up from above with that one. Beautiful. So again, we're moving through it. Take advantage of this moment. You haven't missed it. And
No.
jump in. And you can do this at any moment in your life. And also right now, super good juju. Use it and enjoy it. We also had a couple people, Karen, LP. I have a couple people came in from my community. We have your money candle blessings in this candle as well. So if you're watching live, know that you have been included in this ritual as well. And there'll be more opportunities coming in March. I will be launching a ritual society. So that is coming soon for candle magic. So with that, we are still moving through this fun. And so, Jahjehan, you want to quickly just remind us, what is the energy of this moment that we have been moving through for the last couple of days?
Well, it's, the gate 60. It's all about that. It's the difficulty at the beginning. It's the transformation begins with acceptance. It's the gate that is like, whatever can go sideways will, and you will find a way to move forward. And that's the thing. It's like, and when you ground it into gate 56 with the earth, it's what stories are you telling yourself as you find things going sideways? I know for Shebala and I, we've been communicating. This energy has been like throwing us all the curveballs. And it's really about how you react to the curveball. Do you fall on the ground and moan in pain, or do you get up and brush yourself off and go, all right, there's another way forward. I'm going to find it. I'm cool. I'm working with this.
And sometimes, like, I really have been both in frustration and in delighting in the things that I found. And it's just one little thing after another. And I had a big revelation as I became like saltier and saltier. And so it was salty, but I got a deeper revelation. And so I had my standard gate 60 moments. And so these are things like realizing that some of the things that I had booked, like that my husband was like, this is not lining up with my schedule. And then when I actually dug in, I realized I booked things wrong. So I was like, okay, that was cool.
Yes.
My music wasn't accepted, and because of like my name. And so I ended up finding an alternate name that was even cooler. Like, so for some of my music, so Prosperity Artist, they don't like the artist. So it's now Prosperity Citra, which is artist spelled backwards, which is really cool because, dyslexia is something that I struggled with as a child, but also because it's creative and because that name means a lot of things in Sanskrit and other language, which actually relate to a medicinal plant and also like creativity, art, etc. So it's like, funky things where you're like,
And
wow.
you wouldn't have discovered it had you not been rejected. Because like
Oh,
when you told me that, I'm dyslexic too. So I went back to Shebala and I was like, hey, did you know that you spelled this backwards as artist? And she's like, because she has in the past, like we've both done that where we transpose words and we catch each other on it. And she's like, oh no, it's actually purposeful. And here's what it means. I was like, that is amazing.
but I only found it because
Yeah.
I'm 60. And so as we are moving through the transit, there's little things that come up. But what came up for me was accepting the limits of other humans.
Mm.
Because what I was seeing was there was a part of me that was getting a little salty as I watched people backslide in this moment.
Mm.
And I really sat with myself because I was like, there is no version of me that gets to be disappointed in someone else's life. And so I'll say that again. There's like no version of you that gets to be disappointed in another person's life because it's not your life. And as someone who had a very focused mom,
Mm-hmm.
like 840 energy, like this will within like community to support and provide, I know and have felt what I felt like was the energy of disappointment or the
Mm.
energy of pressure. And that's not something I ever want to pin on anyone, even if it's a client saying they want something. And so this is what's hard. Like when you know someone wants something, when you've seen them work to achieve it, and then you watch them in pain because they're on a backslide. That's where it's like um, a very specific example, but that was like the one thing I hadn't really let go of in terms of allowing people to be truly free.
Mm-hmm.
To be free in you just learned this and yet here we are again, or to be free in your choice to struggle. And frankly, for some, to be free in their addiction to struggle.
Mm.
And so that was it. That was what I was releasing. It's like, I see that you're addicted. How do I watch this addiction, not judge it, even after you've stated to me that you know you do not want to be in this addiction? How do I accept your capacity, love you anyway, and not be salty or disappointed or upset or having any feelings because it's not my business? Because
Yes.
you are a whole human and you have your own divine guidance, your own journey, etc. And that was rough because that's what this gate was showing me,
Mm.
is standing in that.
That's a hard place. I mean, I'm a mother to two, and I go through that often with my children. And it has been one of the hardest lessons because you want to keep them from making quote unquote mistakes, but actually from taking the journey that you see them taking. You can't protect someone from making the choices in their own journey. And when they essentially, you can advise them, but they're always a sovereign being making their own choices. And sometimes it's really, really, really freaking hard to watch someone be like, oh, please, please listen to me. But you can't force anything.
And then though, but you can choose how much you're willing to accept, right? If you
Yeah.
choose, if you're in a moment and someone's in their addiction to struggle, or
Mm-hmm.
disregarding their own evidence. And that's what's hard for me. It's like
Yeah.
people disregarding my wisdom, fine, but you're disregarding your own evidence. You're
Mm-hmm.
disregarding your own stated wants. And you're like, oh, like that's where I was like, ooh, but
That's,
it's fun because, what I love about human design is always like a fun little perspective. Limitations are essential and understanding them enhances leadership.
yes.
And I was like, okay, these are your limitations in this moment. This is your capacity in this moment. And your limitations will take you on a journey. And through that journey, you'll learn some things. And maybe that thing will line up to your deep purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, right?
Yeah.
But if I believe that divine has a plan, then for me, I'm a much better leader, mother, etc. when I understand these limitations. And that's also come up with me being like the manifesting generator with many people around me who are not manifesting generators,
Mm-hmm.
and looking at like, okay, now I work with a manifester. The people in my house are generators. Like I
Mm-hmm.
have Mallory, my chief of staff, is my lone manifesting generator. And when I start looking at the balance on things, I'm like, okay, well, I'm taking on this much, or I'm like, you can't do that
Mm-mm.
in my
No.
world at all. Especially because I'm often the one who's better at managing their capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So then I'm like, oh wow, because I was having a moment of saltiness again of like, I'm taking on, it was really the cats that sparked it. I was like, I'm taking on medicating all these cats, and you know, and I was like, but I'm the one with the capacity.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, does that mean I always take on more? Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
In life,
Mm-hmm.
and being like, that's okay, because the reality is their limit is not my limit. And I have limits in other areas, but even sometimes it doesn't balance out. Not in that.
Exactly.
It balances out perhaps on a collective level because I'm doing what I do for the world and they're doing what their world. But on an individual level, the count is never right.
Well, and that's partnership for you. And, you know, it's like when people try to make things come out equal, it's really almost like a farce because there is no such thing as equal. It's like you said, where are we showing up with our capacities? And it's like my capacity in my household is different than my husband's capacity, than my children's capacity. And when we know what we each can handle and we're honest about it, things work really well. When we ignore what we're able to do and we overserve, that's usually my thing, or, you know, show up with our limitations, already saying, I can't do that because I think I can't, or you already agreed to that instead of rebalancing, it throws things off. And so it's just really interesting when you learn about these energies, when you learn about what your capacities are, it allows you this expansion of, or actually this new perspective
Mhm.
of how do we be in partnership that actually is honest and true for us, as
Yep.
opposed to what we think might be honest and true.
Yeah. And I think for the people who, it goes both ways. Like for the people who are potentially taking on more,
Mhm.
it's the acceptance of the gift of being able to do that. And then on the other side, for the people who feel like, oh, I'm taking on less, it's releasing yourself,
Yes.
the guilt, and like knowing that you're doing your best. And also that the person who is with you in whatever union is there and receiving things from you. Like there's a reason they're,
Mhm.
and
This
not, it's not this energetic balance you're trying to work out in your head.
No. Well, you know, you're reminding me of the conversation we had when we did shared my journey in motherhood and postpartum and how I wasn't allowing myself to receive. And I realized that me allowing others to help me was actually an act of love from me to them, or it was an act of love, period.
Yeah.
It was allowing myself to be vulnerable enough and say, I need help.
Mhm.
And that is so powerful. And I think oftentimes we try to power through, we try to hold it all, we try to do what we think we have agreed to or have to, instead of stepping up honestly and saying, I don't have this and I need help. You know, I need to rebalance. It's not that I need to break this promise I made. It's that we in this moment need to reevaluate because I am recognizing that my capacity is at limit and something needs to shift. And that's really that gate 60. And like, I mean, that's the energy of relationships, is being honest in every moment where your capacity is.
Yeah. And then what's interesting, there's another angle of this that I had growing up, which is guilt for your capacity.
Mm.
I had a brother, so we had a brother. I had a brother who came into my life later, and he would say to my mom, like, not everyone is Melissa, because that's, my
Mm.
like, not everyone's her, not everyone can do all this, da, 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 da. And I would feel like, no, everyone can.
Mm.
And what I realized is, as a man gen, and it's really actually hard to say it out loud, not everyone can.
Yeah.
Everyone can kind of do all the things I do if they line them up, actually, is what I figured out. So if they do them in order, it's possible in your lifetime.
In your lifetime, that's the key.
No, it's true. But
No, I
try
know. I said in your lifetime. It might take us our lifetime to do all the things you do.
but doing them all at the same time, not everyone has that capacity.
Yeah.
And I felt guilty about it because, I felt like my quote unquote standard was making other people look bad, or making other people creating disagreements or dissonance, because literally it was happening in my family.
Mm.
And I would be like, well, I'm not special. And we're all special in different ways. And one of my special things is having a crap ton of capacity and managing different lanes at the same time. Jaji has seen that.
Oh, yes.
But we model a lot of things in society off of that. Like, it's weird. Society, sometimes we say society was built for like generators and manifesting generators. And when we talk about it as if you're doing all of that. And then you have other people who like backlash against it. They're like, you can't do all of that. And so I sit here sometimes in this bubble being like, but I can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I'm like, it's like, you don't know what to think in your own head. I can do that. But they're saying I shouldn't do that. Okay, wait, I shouldn't do that. And so for me as a man, it's been this really interesting piece of not being guilty for my capacity,
Mm-hmm.
not shrinking myself, not trying to force other people to come up to my capacity, not trying to wait till I can train people or get them to have a couple of wins so I could feel better about my wins. Like, these are things that I replicated literally because I didn't want to acknowledge my own talent, because it felt better to feel normal
Mm.
and to struggle because everyone else was struggling. So I should struggle too. Isn't that wild?
Yes. And I love that you have been able to recognize this, because it is healing a big wound for you.
Mm. Yeah. And so as I've been sitting with it, it's like, and the saltiness, as we're talking about this, what I realize is the saltiness, it's coming through, Jahjehan.
Mm-hmm.
This is great. The saltiness was coming from the part of me like that felt I had to shrink myself to not make people feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm also taking on the work. So it was not the taking on more. It's like, I got to take on more and worry about your fucking feelings while I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we serious right now? I get to take on more, worry about your feelings, nurture your nervous system while you're pissy or jealous or feeling guilty when I didn't tell you to. Like, and I'm just like, why do I have to manage all of this? Why can't I just be me, be awesome, and you just be grateful, or like normal about it, like not care, and we just get our things done so that we can live happily ever after. Like, that was like the funky frustration that was moving me. And I think the answer is you can just be you. You can be the goat. You can be awesome. You can just do that. And if other people get butthurt, jealous, feel funky, feel like they're not doing as much, etc., just be like, cool, don't do that. Like, you're okay. Or do that if you want. But like, I'm not going to react to that, babe. Is that okay?
You making yourself small benefits no one.
Mm-mm.
Because that's the thing. You're here to be all of you. And think of it as like if Shebala, if you were shrinking yourself and still hiding yourself and not sharing all the gifts that you have, no one benefits. Like you're not doing the work that you're here to do in the world. And so
There's the last piece of that. I think with us, like when you get married and have family, there is a part of you that can sometimes be like, I'm gonna just pour all of that into my family.
mm,
And that'll like, I don't know, that'll live through my cats or through my like there is a version of me that's like, I'm gonna just pour it all into my cats. I'll make my cats influencers. I'll take care of them all day.
I'm just laughing because I'm like, yeah.
So like that's my version of it. Like I'm like, I'll do it that way, and like I don't need to. It doesn't need to be the Shebala show, right? Like this is what we're taught.
And maybe your superpower is being a nurturer and making your cats into influencers. And that is 100% how you're here to shine if that is calling you. But that's not for Shebala. I'm just going to say.
We can do, but I can also do both too. Like so, like there's like
you can do both. You're a Manny Jen. We know you can spin all the plates. I'm a manifester. I pick one avenue.
You can line them up. I swear, people forget. Write your things down.
Yes.
Tell you when to do them.
Yes.
And when the universe tells you to do them, you'll do them so damn fast. You'll be confused. Like you'll be like, wait, did I just do all of that?
Mm-hmm.
It's just about still believing you can do it all. Like this is where I want to say, because the language that you just said, you weren't going there, but you were almost there. Sometimes my manifestors and my projectors literally like shrink themselves by using what they know of their capacity to limit their dreams.
Yes. Yeah.
And the truth is, you do not know. There are moments where all of a sudden, all this stuff will flow out of you, or the right person will come along and drag you through something real fast. And both of those versions net out with you being like, what did I just do?
Mm-hmm.
Or when the universe hits in, like right now, Jahjehan, you've got that pressure center for like 2 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
The universe will click into like the right transit. And all of a sudden, you don't know it. And for like 6 months, you just have this energy.
Yeah. I mean, right now, my sacral is also divined. So it's interesting. And I love that you said that, because that's why I always say it's not about using human design against yourself, but rather following the energy forward. And so that's something that I never resonated with when I first learned I was a manifestor. And like I did resonate with the creative urges because I had experienced them so many times where I will go into a hole and not eat, not sleep, not do anything. I will text my husband like, I gave the kids celery and popcorn for dinner because that's all I could manage to do when I flew into the kitchen to get something to nourish myself. And it's like, they'll be fine. And now they're teenagers, so I know they'll really be fine, because if they eat chips for 2 weeks, they'll totally be fine. But I don't talk myself out of something. Like if the energy is coming through me, it's coming through me. If the energy is not coming through me, that's also something that I'm learning to not talk myself into. Forcing. You cannot force the energy to flow. But actually, you can try to force. You can try to force.
You can do it. It's just not pleasant.
It is just not pleasant. And your body will give you cues. Like it will lock itself up. You will have pain. You will have jaw, like all the things I've experienced.
Won't be at your most aligned potential.
Yeah. No.
Remember when I'm just laughing at like I feel like I've tortured you, Jahjehan. Remember the time, Jahjehan, when I made you redo? I didn't make you. I invited you to redo a painting over and over again.
I do.
Clear your energy and do it again. And do it again. And do it again.
was like, Shebala and I live in different states. It would take me 24 hours to drive to reach her, but I will admit that she was right and she helped me clear my energy. But if we had lived an hour apart, I would have gone to her house and delivered some of my energy because but it was true. And to be fair, you also said clear your energy, follow your energy.
Yeah, I was like, clear.
And I felt into it and I was like, I am angry and I am also recognizing that, yes, this is true. I'm going to clear my energy. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to see what happens. And what happened is the right thing not the right, more came through me so that it went to completion because I thought I had reached completion, but I had actually only reached a resting point and I needed to get stirred up a little.
Ooh. Yeah.
And then I could keep going.
I think it's that a lot of people, when it is the creative urge stops, but then it stops and then we force completion.
Yes.
That's how I would say it, I would describe it in this situation. We force completion.
Yes.
And what I want to communicate, can I say a little bit more about this story?
You can.
What I want to communicate is when you force completion, sometimes it's really hard to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But other people can sense it. And so what actually happened is I do all of my energetic work. So I make my candles.
Mm-hmm.
I send them. I have a network of special woo-woo people that support me with that. I send them to a rich friend and a psychic friend, and I will ask them, can you just check this thing out? And I knew that I wanted to use that imagery for my website. And I knew we were going to use it for our website. I already knew that. And I was like, So I sent it to them and they both were like, no, energy's off. And so it's like, it wasn't just my opinion. It can be felt by people. And these things, people feel them. And that's what I noticed. Like people actually feel them. They're just not conscious to it.
Well, and the reason I was salty is because I felt it too. I was just like, I'm tired and I just want to be done. And you're telling me it's not done. And I was like, but you were, that's why I went back. You can't force me to do anything. You can't force me to do what I don't want to do. And so after I had my salty moment, and I will say I went on a walk in the woods and I was like, and she thinks, and I was like, and she's right. And that's when I was like, all right, cool. And then you offered me the whole, and here's the thing, for my artwork, it is energetically charged. I don't just sit there and paint pretty little pictures. I mean, they're beautiful, but I paint with crystals, like my pigments. Most of my art pigments are actually like ground up in amethyst, lapis lazuli, that sort of thing. But I paint energetically, and I only paint when I am in the flow. When I'm following the energy. And with that one, I thought I was in the flow, but when you called me on, hey, this feels forced, I was like, yes.
And let me be clear, this was a joint project. So it's not, I was just randomly like saying things. Though yesterday I did get a channel for you, right? We're at that place now.
She did.
She sent me a picture. I was like, ooh, and I was like, that one. Like,
yeah.
But it's also like that one was specific because it's something that you're creating and you keep shifting and you're in it. So
exactly.
So, but it's again to the point of your energetic art. But all of that to say, like, this was a joint thing, and I wanted to complete more than anyone else because I was feeling real guilt about it dragging things out. Like I was terrible. I wanted it to be finished, but my honesty, like
integrity,
I could not because I've done that before
and
ended up with shit. So I was like, I'm not doing this shit this time around, not in that way. So that is, with something that was beautiful and yet not complete. And so it wasn't getting me where we needed to go. Right. So that was like, I was like, I'm not doing this cycle again.
Well, and I appreciate it because and that's the thing. It's like what we've been doing, it's a partnership. And the honesty and the integrity that we keep showing up with has been uncomfortable at times.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, friends, there have been some tears on both sides of this partnership. And it has always been because we are moving forward with honesty and integrity, and we are sharing the things even when they are uncomfortable. And that is what a true partnership is. I mean, I've been with my husband of 30 years, well, 25 years married, 30 years together. And trust me, there has been a lot of honest conversations that were very uncomfortable. And that's why we're still together. That's why we keep choosing to grow together. And that's the thing. It's like, that's what I appreciate. You know, you weren't going to be nice to me just to smooth stuff over. You were very nice to me.
Very nice, but
You were very nice, but you were very honest, direct, and integral. And I appreciate that. Yes. I was like, and that's the thing. I would rather have a relationship that's in integrity and honesty, where we can say the uncomfortable things, because discomfort is what allows us to grow. My Sufi teacher used to say that relationships are like two lumps of coal coming together and rubbing together, and that heat and that friction is what reveals the diamond within both of us.
And it's so fascinating you say that, because this is what was interesting for me, and why perhaps like this year was really a growth edge, because I spent a year and a half learning how to grow, not in pressure. So many of us know growth through ease. And so then I was like, okay, I'm going to graduate and get into growth. Sorry. So many of us know growth through pressure. And so my whole last year and a half was, I'm going to graduate into growth through ease. What does that look like? What does that feel like? And you get to have both. Like you need to have both. And so like in my estimation, you don't need to have both, but there will be both. Certainly if you want accelerated growth, or growth at the rate at which you can choose to grow in this lifetime. And for me, I'm all about like, I'm gonna maximize these lives. And so for me, if I want to be that, I get to have both. And so this year I like went from my growth through ease straight into now this growth through pressure again. And I was like, I remember this. This wasn't fun. Why am I dealing with this? Like, because it's a new human. And what I think is really interesting is the more you work on this work, the more you can actually get to this place where it really is primarily growth through ease in certain partnerships. I really used to believe that it was forming, storming, norming, and performing. So you form, at some point in time, you storm. Through the storming, you understand and create new norms, and then perform together. I used to teach this all the time in business. But what I realized is actually it doesn't have to be storming. It can just be sharing. You form, you norm, and you perform. Sometimes it still is storming, certainly with a many Jen. And so it's this balance, just to know that like you can grow through ease. You can also grow through pressure.
What kind of
people, the people who can move through both, you really unlock like massive and like the depth of your potential. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say, for me, resistance is the key. It's like, how much are you resisting the growth is going to sort of put you on that level of ease versus discomfort. Like, because ease is really, you're going through things with less resistance. You're going, oh, this requires a shift. Let's do it. Discomfort is, this requires a shift. I'm not doing it. And so
it's more
it's resistance.
Yes. And for me, more and more we get from to resistance to like almost like I can now experience intense things.
Yes.
That I wouldn't necessarily choose to be in all the time, but can like really move into into, yeah, into this other place. I'm seeing Penny. So hey,
Yeah.
Penny.
Penny. Hi, Penny.
What I love, hi Penny, is it goes like it's a mindset and it's also like a somatic state.
Yes.
And so for me, the more I practice, the more my body is frankly regulated or set to ease.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's not freaking out. It's not freaking out. Thank you for being
Exactly.
here, Penny. We're so we're so grateful to have you live with us. All right. So next up, just a reminder from last time. As we continue to move through this gate 60 transit, life is happening for me. So it's a little reminder.
It takes us back to that ease as a mindset. Life is happening for me.
Definitely the mind diversion, the little mantra that you can say to get
Mhm.
going. All right. So tomorrow evening, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the Human Design New Year begins. And we get to move into a brand new transit. It's gate 41, and the Earth is in 31. Jahjehan, we have some of your art here. Can you please talk to us about what we are coming into for these two?
I love that it's almost like they are having a conversation here.
Yeah, they got hands out.
They're like, this is what's going on. And this is the 41 is located in the root center. The 31 is in the throat center. And they really are having a conversation together because the 41 is all about, it is in traditional human design, it's the gate of contraction. In quantum human design, it's the gate of imagination. And, contraction, it says at the bottom of this card, contraction clears your field so imagination can pulse to bloom and expand in possibility. Because the energy that we're moving through is really this energy of planting those seeds, plowing the field, taking out those things that, I always think of this as like the bud before the bloom. That's actually it's the contraction of the bud before it blooms. We have to figure out what we want to focus on. That's that 41 energy. It's asking us to say, not there's 5,000, well, if you're a manifesting generator, disregard this. Maybe there's 5 instead of 5,000. And like Shebala said, you might write the other, 495,000 down on Post-its for when the energy comes in for them. And so 41 is really asking us to focus on what we want to grow moving forward. And that gate 31 is the leader, it's leadership. And it is, in traditional human design, it's the gate of influence. And what it says on the bottom of this card is that be a leader with your voice of influence, rising from the heart to represent and serve all, because this is the leadership that's democratic. This is the person who is giving the voice to. And so what are you wanting to plant that you're ready to start speaking out about, that you're ready starts taking a stand on, that you're ready to be a leader in? And that's really that's why I'm excited I can feel this energy activating. I also have a hanging gate 30. So Pluto's already in gate 41. So I've already been activated here, but I can feel the sun energy like kind of creeping in. And, it's by no surprise that this week I'm really stepping further and further into stepping out with my voice and essentially declaring what I am here to grow, what I am here to focus on, because that's that gate 41 and that leadership of saying like, here, this is what I stand for. This is what I'm here for. I'm ready. And so Shebala, what you got to add to that?
Oh, I love this because I have it's an additive, but it's a deferring take on how I've been taught the gates. And I love that we have both. And so it's interesting. This one always struck me as the human design version of it that I learned originally always struck me as a little prickly. especially with 40 and 30 alone versus all of them together.
Mm.
And at the same time, it was so helpful in my marriage because my husband does have gate 30 and like a very specific placement of it. And at certain times, his feelings would just kind of come through.
Yeah.
And I'll start with 30 because they talked about 30 as people who can never be free from desires. And I don't like that word never because, from my standpoint, there's a lot of things we can do. But I'm literally I'm quoting from Richard Rudd at this point, his distillation of human design. He says, "This is the gate of desire, and it's the source of all of our emotional aches and yearnings. These people may not know what their longing is for, but they're driven to want to try all kinds of new things, the result which may or may not be gaining wisdom." So they're just kind of popping around trying all these new things. And they say this is also the gate of fates. Given the power that desire has over human beings, the greatest lesson these people can learn is not to take experiences personally. As long as they are able to enter into new experiences from a clear emotional space, whatever they learn will be correct for them, even if it doesn't meet their expectations. But it says people can never afford to give away to their expectations about what their desires will bring. And it's been really interesting because I remember when I first met my husband, he was doing dance and he was doing it like 5 times a week. And I was like, ooh, like, what are you going to do with this? And he's like, oh, it's a hobby. And then everything's like a hobby for him. Like right now, he has a culinary hobby. And as part of that hobby, he has purchased like, I don't know, 10 different pieces of equipment. I mean, like a cotton candy maker was like yesterday, and a cotton candy maker, a pizza oven, like Instapot. Like he's living a whole new area, and he's kind of just following that emotion,
Passion. Yeah.
the emotion around it, and he's just accumulating these desires, and he's having fun with it. And the 41, that's me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the 41, it's people who keep wanting to have a new feeling. So
Mm-hmm.
like fantasy in the 41 wants to have these new fantasies and new feelings, and they want to do things. And so they kind of work together because the 41's like, oh, you could do this and you could do that and you could do this. And the 30's like, ooh, that feels good. I'll do this and I'll do that. And that sounds great. And so they're kind of working together to create this tornado of experiences, or at least that's how we experience it in our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 41 can be restless, but the 30 gives it focus. So ironically, even though the 30 can't figure out what their specific desire is, they can bring focus to the 41. And so it's in reaction to a 30 or in reaction to the moment where universe is in 30 that the 41 gets a crystallized desire. And so that to me, when you say let me bring it back. When you say here, like, can pulse and bloom and expand into possibility, for me, in my understanding of it, that's happening either through partnership with the universe or partnership through other people. Like in that moment where the 30 is present, that's where kind of the pulse comes through and you're like, okay,
yes,
I can kind of bring this thing to a conclusion.
Yeah. And well, and as somebody who has the gate 30 all the time, it's that passion of like the emotional wave that comes from the 30, 41. It's when your wave settles.
Mm-hmm.
And not settles like, oh, I'm done, but actually settles on a way forward. And that's when this connects through. And the next circuit that it connects to is the 3536,
Mm-hmm.
which is that's my one and only channel that's always defined. And it is one where it really is this leap of faith. So it's almost like you have this dream, your passion, kind of says, okay, let's go for it. And then the next circuit up, you go, all right, I'm going to try this. And then I'm going to share about it because it goes all the way up to the throat.
Yep. And so on the 30 side, it's you have a lots of desires.
Mm-hmm.
And then you meet a 40 or you meet a 41 or you're in a 41 like moment.
Yes.
That brings focus to like one desire. So it's
Yes.
kind of like the 41 comes in and it's like, ooh, this thing. And you're
Yeah.
like, yeah. And you ride on that thing. And so, and then, that's done. And then you're back into your world of like, ooh, all these things. And so the 40 comes in and it's like, ooh, this thing. And then it kind of moves along the path. And so it really is like both doing the same for each other. It's just maybe just a different feel or vibe to it. And then the full channel is channel of recognition. So understanding what to focus on,
Mm-hmm.
also accepting that you're a dreamer. And the reason I pulled out this book is it says a couple things. And again, I don't love the language here, but I like the guidance. It's kind of cool. So if you do have the 4130, and for those of you who have it for the next 2 years, it says, don't try to make your dreams come true and don't expect any of your desires to bring you lasting peace. True peace is simply to enjoy the dreams themselves. So what I mean by that is enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Don't create a fixed outcome.
Yes.
Like, ooh. And it's like, can you be, I guess the prompt or question is, can you be in your dream life and just be enjoying it?
Mm-hmm.
Without, like, can you just be in your dream life?
Yeah. Can you be pleasantly surprised? Like, I'm prepared to be pleasantly surprised.
Or even, sometimes you're not surprised. Like, that's what's fun.
Yeah.
Like, especially depending on what other cases you have. Like, sometimes I'm not surprised, but I'm like, oh, I'm just in it instead of into the next part of it or the outcome. Like, can you actually be in the present with it?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
yeah.
love that.
Okay, so we got into 41, and I put this here. I wrote it. It came in. The fantasy thrives in focus. And like we said, this is not forced focus. It's a focus that kind of comes through.
Mm-hmm.
Comes through your, I like to use the word channel. You may not resonate with that, but it just comes through. It comes through and emerges within you. And sometimes because of interactions with others or just because it's the moment for it. And it is the moment for it right now. So for many of us, so just know like this may be your moment, especially if you have 30, it's your moment.
Yes. I will also say that it being in the root, like notice it's not in the head. This isn't focus that's achieved by making the to-do list, thinking it through, all of this. This is the to-do, this is the fantasy, the focus that comes in through paying attention to that pulse.
Yep.
That what lights you up, what's wanting to be carried forward with that passion. Like Kevin's kitchen, kitchen love for cooking is not necessarily because it makes sense. Like he's made the list, he's going to be like on America's Top Chef. Maybe, maybe.
I've seen this through in different ways for a long time. So
but he's following the energy of what's pulsing into him and going, yeah, I'm just going to do this. And I love that.
And then where the head gets useful. Okay, so we still are now in the world interacting with lots of people. And so on a day-to-day basis, even, there is this question, which is, what is our priority? And so I put in a couple slides here to support you on your journey through this energy, especially with us having the 41 transiting. So many people do not have the 30. So especially like me, we're getting like a double dose of fantasy. And so all of these things are coming in, and sometimes they're coming through the body in like a clean way. But then we're also like to me, for example, today, something just came in today and it was my membership. And this you know about because I've had it for a long time. It's been on my long list. Mm-hmm. And coming in today, I was talking to Mallory and I was like, I don't, no, not today. I got so many other things to do. Like, seriously. Like,
I know. I'm just laughing. And you're like, not today, membership.
What are you doing? Because I was talking in a sentence to her and it starts coming in. And then I was like fighting myself. And she's like, are you still talking to me right now? And I really was trying to hold it back. And so as
Mhm.
41 is bringing you these dreams and fantasies, at least at the minimum, like consider writing them down. Like give yourself that opportunity to let them out and don't just hold them back, you know?
And I love that it was coming out in conversation because that 31 is in the throat, and that's what your 41 is grounded in as we move into this week. Because, and so maybe it is having the conversation about something that you're dreaming about, and then all of a sudden you may feel that energy shift for it.
Yeah. And then the other piece that's interesting is the 31, there is like this influence, right? That's like,
Mhm.
so there's also other people's energy wanting a thing that's,
Mhm.
and so what's funny is like, this is something I've been asked for in different ways. It's something I've wanted to do. It's something I've done in the past. There's a lot of elements of this. And so sometimes things are rising exactly when they need you, even if they're not on your plans. And so you, especially if you're managing things, families, households, businesses, you still get to ask yourself a question, which is, what is your number one priority? And so I put this up here. What is your number one priority now through February? What is your number one priority this week? What is your number one priority today? This is a mental exercise. Knowing that actually you don't know. You know moment to moment. So you know what it is, but it can change in the next moment. So this doesn't take away from the ability um, to flow. However,
Mhm.
when for the crazy planners out there, because many people plan their year, it's really helpful sometimes to just go through this mental exercise to say, okay, let me shorten it. Let me shorten it even more. Let me shorten it even more. And the reason I said one priority is the number one thing that I find people struggle with is the concept of a priority. They think they can divide themselves into a billion pieces and have a priority for each piece. I have
Yes.
a priority at home. I have a priority for my personal life. I have a priority for work. You got one because they don't toggle on and off.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. Like people will be like, I'm toggling off this priority and toggling back on this priority. And you do that so much so that you're making micro movements in each one and you're not seeing progress. And then you wonder why in months from now, things haven't gotten done and you beat up yourself.
Mhm.
But you are not choosing, you are switching. And so, what is your number one priority? And a lot of people also don't want to face their priorities. So that's another one that I get to. We don't want to be honest. We don't want to say, my priority right now is not what I think should be a number one priority. My priority right now is not my health. My priority right now is not my kids. My priority, like, you may be like, my priority right now is resting and rubbing my feet. My cat is sick in the next room.
Yeah.
That's, can you be honest at that level? My child is sick in the next room. My priority right now is scratching my butt and catching my breath. Can that really be real? And so
Mhm.
you set priorities and plans really gets to be a bespoke experience. And how you do this can make it easier or harder to flow with your human design. So I'll pause there because I feel like Jahjehan has some.
Ah, yes, because Shebala has witnessed me saying, "This is my priority," and I have an emotional authority.
I
And
probably
sometimes
that's not why I put him on the slides, but yes,
I
I
know, right? And so you've witnessed me trying to push my emotional authority into action because I have set up that list of priorities. And I have also made verbal commitments to people that things will be done. And then my emotional wave is basically I show up to do the thing and my wave is saying no.
Mhm.
And then I start pushing because I can. And the thing that's really interesting is actually my body talks to me. And when I try to push through that emotional wave and I try to go, but I made this commitment and I'm going to do it because it's a priority, instead of listening to what the priority has shifted to, because my body knows what the priority has shifted to. And sometimes it's your body is saying rest, but I'm not trusting that rest is safe for me. And instead, I'm trying to push through into action, and my jaw will start locking up. My shoulders will get tense. My back will ache. My body will tell me, it will almost like freeze me in place as I'm trying to push into action. And then I've gotten better at catching myself. And then when I finally catch myself and I allow myself to rest, to go take the 15-minute nap that my body was telling me that my priority had shifted to go take care of the kid who needs the talk, my body will relax. And then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, sometimes it takes a little bit, the energy will come back. And the thing that was on the list as the priority, the promise I'd made to somebody else, then the energy will shift. And it's almost like a floodgate will open up for that. And then I can do it without my body trying to stop me, because I'm actually following my energy as opposed to trying to force it.
Yeah. So you said something really critical, which is like, I didn't feel safe to rest.
Yes.
And like that part, like a lot of people don't feel safe in rest.
Yep.
And don't feel safe in choosing rest over commitments. And it's tricky because sometimes, especially with manifestor energy, when you wait, when you shift, you get back into this beautiful creative urge and it just like flows quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Other times it doesn't. Like other times you're like, oh wait, now I'm on the local train and I thought I was going to be on the express train. And it's harder for me, at least, when that moment happens to trust it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I just use my little mental trick and be like, life is happening for me, then I always know why, even when things are slowed down. And so sometimes we want to say, like, well, if you wait for your urge, it'll speed up. Sometimes it will, and sometimes it won't. And yet I find in my life that it has always still been a more efficient decision, whether it was slow or fast, to listen to my body.
Yes.
You know?
I've also found, like, you're a manifesting generator, I'm a manifester. I have a good client and friend who is a projector, and she's been learning the same lesson. And it has shifted her invitations now that she has basically said no to the things that felt wrong in her body. There's things that are coming out of the woodwork, out of the blue, that she wouldn't even dreamed of. But because she actually paused and said no and listened to her body, it made space for these other things to come through.
Yeah. And that's really important, like the saying no. Like this morning, Mallory, my chief of staff, we had planned to do like a segment together on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her, I was like, okay, well, she brought it up a couple of days ago. And I asked her, hey, like, are we going to do that? And she froze on me because, you know, y'all with gate 12 is funny. When it was a sacral no. And she's so hilarious because when it's a sacral yes, she's like, ah, yeah, 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 yeah. Like, it's like so. And she's just like, and then she asked a question. Then she basically like, just shut up. And I was just like, how long am I going to give her to move through this before I'm like, you know, but I gave her moment. And then I was like, okay, so now when I know it's a sacral no, is it okay for me to just tell you like, hey, like it's been 5 minutes. It's clearly a sacral no. Like that is not 100% yes. You're already questioning. Like we're beyond that. Like, is it okay if I just chime in? Because we don't need to go through the pain of her trying to figure out how she could still make this work because she really wanted it to work for me.
It's because we don't want to disappoint people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, no. And the reality is, if someone hasn't graduated to the place where they get to remember that being disappointed about something that is happening in your life is like not their role.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because they're showing Oh man, this could have been so amazing for you.
Exactly.
That's not your job. Stay out of that. Like that is,
Mhm.
you are not God. Like, stop it.
Let them follow their own flow.
If someone has not graduated to that place yet, we get to like let go of any part of us that wants to please them,
Agreed.
you know? And so I wanted to throw up, and I will move through this somewhat quickly, but just to show that like, we're all navigating this in different ways. This is me right now, and it's quite fascinating because it's almost vulnerable to say this. So right now I'm still healing. So I had a car accident, and I am noticing more and more. I had a tongue deviation. Something's going on with my brain. I still have MRIs in process. I'm still learning to speak again. And the singing
Mm,
has flowed in. And it's so fascinating because the vocal training is becoming my speech therapy.
wow.
And so I'm like, okay, spirit's lining that up, but I haven't been able to get all of my MRIs because I've been having panic attacks. So we're now working to get a sedated MRI. So that's like a whole experience. I have a torn hip labrum that I've now healed from a pain standpoint, using first like pain cells, then a spiritual mantra work. So I've cleared that pain. So I'm walking around though with a physical thing that has a potential surgery in the future. I'm recovering from the accident, and my weight has crept up to a point where now, like from a health standpoint, there's some changes that get to be made, right? And so I have my accident recovery and weight loss. And in principle, my health and my vessel is my number one priority. In principle, it is.
Hmm.
I have mom's recovery. Mom had 3 surgeries in 1 year, joint replacements. I've been her primary caregiver, and she's literally on her first week and a half now of being independent again, driving again, etc. And so we're in the middle of that transition. That's really important. My husband just came back from Vipassana, and he's now really opening up to his spiritual journey. That's something I want to be there for and hold space for. We have a new cat, and my entire household is sick with the cat flu, and it's serious now. I have a cat who lost 2 pounds, and she's like a tiny thing.
Wow.
And I'm getting to treat them all with medicine, and I get to treat them because there's no real good treatment, and they're all immunocompromised. So my vet was literally like, try please to treat them with herbs first, because the first thing I have to put them on is not going to be good.
Mm,
Dog who just got diagnosed with kidney disease, so I'm treating him too, because there aren't things that they can do for him at stage 1, but there are things that I can do for him. And then we're launching, and with because of tariff issues and like shipping issues, I have now put $70,000. We got $30,000 of supplies, candle supplies, hanging out in my house. And I'm building 3 websites, 2 product lines. I got the candles, the services, and the events. And I thought they were all going to happen at different timelines and planned it. And everything is smashed together now. And then all of a sudden, music started flowing through. And then I've been doing 9 gift readings a week, 100 since July. And I have an Africa trip with my mom, which is up there because there are things like the Ghana embassy does not allow for like visas, and like I have to like send in my passport, and so like I need to coordinate that. And there's other things too, like I'm planning like my college reunion and things like that. There's other things. So this is just a snippet of what I'm managing right now. And what's funny is they're actually in order of what I would say are my actual priorities. However, in this season, like today, I can only choose one. And this is the reality. How do you choose between your health, your mom, your husband, your sick cats, your job? Your like these are all very important things. But only one can be a priority in any moment. And so my priority is staying in flow and energetic integrity. My priority, I used to say my priority is peace. And that's it. And so for me, learning this helped me navigate everything, because I was like, what keeps me in flow?
mm.
What keeps me in energetic integrity, especially because that's when I'm in my manifesting generator juju and I can spin a lot of plates and do a lot of things. And it's not my family, my cats, my health, or getting back my investment. I do believe it gets me to all those things, but it's not that. It's just being in flow. That means sometimes I stop everything and go scream in a corner. Sometimes I stop everything and regularly. Sometimes I stop everything and meditate for 2 hours. My mom's like, "What are you doing? Like, aren't you working today?" And I'm like, because I believe this is my own belief. It doesn't have to be your belief, but I believe that if I'm in flow, all these things somehow come together. Don't ask me how. And then I do have a focus area. And again, I only have one focus area.
Yes.
And I'm like, what is it for the week? What is it for the month? Like, I really do sit and think about that. But I have a daily meeting with my family every day at 5 a.m. And so I will literally just be like, what is my one focus area for today? And I know if I shift out of it, and I know if I keep shifting out of it, that something's off.
Mm-hmm.
And so
that resonates for me, that focus area, because that's how I stay in energetic integrity. It's like there's so many things that I do, and that's why it's really that prioritization of the one focus area. And sometimes when your focus is, when you're looking at, okay, for example, launching our Tulum retreat, that's a focus, writing copy, doing this, doing that, and taking a nap so that I can think clearly. Sometimes, because that's my focus area, I recognize it's not actually plowing through. It's my mind is muddled right now, and I know if I lay down for 30 minutes and sleep, I actually probably will get the copy while I'm sleeping.
And that's the thing. People will be like, okay, I can't do this now. Let me do something else. And I don't do that. I'll be like,
No.
what is the resistance? So like sometimes I'll
Mhm.
I'm like doing deep work and like what resistance is spiritually putting
Yes.
like out of this? What else? Like, and so I will do that. You've witnessed me do some of that. Sometimes I'll call them like, Jahjehan, let's talk for like a whole hour.
Well, yeah, the amount of times we've shown up to do something and then it's like 2 hours later and we hadn't planned to do what we ended up doing, but we actually cleared something that was so impactful and so necessary to move to the thing that we had planned to do.
And so what I would say is like right now, like my energy is not my family, my health, my cats, or even getting back my investment. And that's like, it's even still hard to say, still hard to put it out.
Mhm.
For 2 years, my energy, my priority was my mom. And I, in that time, compromised my health, but I made a choice. I literally was like, I'm prioritizing mom over me. My doctor was like, your this measure are high. How is that possible? Because you are addicted. And I was like, because I prioritize mom. He's like, are you blaming it on mom? I'm like, no, I made my choice. I
Mhm.
prioritized her. And I knew what I was doing in that moment. And I have no regrets. And also that was the thing. And I did it for 2 whole years. And then on May 23rd, like May, a little like May 10th, I told my family I'm getting on a plane, I'm going to Greece. And right now I am prioritizing work. And then
Mhm.
at the beginning of the year, I was like, nope, I'm prioritizing staying in flu. And we'll see when it comes through. Right. And so just again, like for me though, because I know I'm off balance, I'm very blessed and lucky. My family is supporting me. So like my mom is making juice for me. She's bringing in, my husband brings in food. They kind of know the deal.
Mhm.
And they're chipping in because they know where my energy is. And they also know that it's both individual and for the whole.
Exactly.
I know what I'm doing. I can communicate that. They can help if they want to, and I can alleviate any guilt in the process.
Exactly.
This is what we're up to.
Mhm. That is the key, and it brings me back to that whole allowing yourself to receive is an act of love. Allowing yourself to communicate what your needs are, like that. And so often when we're doing, we're trying to do it all ourselves. And really, what we need to do is assess, in order to be in flow, where do I need to call in help? Because I know that you give it to them. And so it's not like but right now you're in a season where you need a little more of that.
Mhm. And I would say like I need a little more, and more is like a big question because like every
Mhm.
month I lead a family meeting, I do breath work, qigong, I move everyone through their concerns.
Yes. And that's what I say. It's like
That's
more.
also like a heavy lift sometimes, but it's something I can execute in a shorter window sometimes. So it's
Mhm.
just it's like again, like I'm like, ugh, don't even try to count it because it's not. It never lands. This
No.
like, I don't often say never, but that's one I can say. The count never quite.
If you're trying to keep count, you're in the wrong game. It's like this is not a game that keeps score. This is a place where you just show up every moment and you go, all right, what's going on?
And so your catalyst question for today, we gave you many, but what is your number one priority, and what is your focus areas this week? You know, what is your focus area this week? If that's tough, what is your focus area today? What is your number one priority? I really believe that when you can get to a honed version of this and you're clear, it can really serve, especially in like moments like this where we have so much shifting going on in the universe, because this gets to be your anchor.
Mm.
And it took me a while because I'm like, my mom's like, you just want to be like chill and relax. And I was like, yes, priority.
Yeah.
like like and it would be crazy things sometimes, like we have to go through we're going through the garage, we don't have to, we decided we're going to, and they're like, well, and I was like, look, it's starting to get stressful, just throw everything out. Like I was like, I had to communicate, I was like, I would rather throw everything out and start over and maintain my peace
Mm-hmm.
this way. Like I
Right.
would, it doesn't matter, but if it's forcing, I don't want it. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you gonna just let this and this and this happen? Yes. As long as it's in alignment with my peace. All you want to do is rest. Yes. Yes, mom. I but I have no shame.
Yeah.
I think the most difficult part for some, we have shame about our priorities.
Agreed.
We don't even want to be honest with ourselves.
And that's what I was actually saying for making for that catalyst question, making the list of what's your number one priority. I would say actually write down all the things that come up, because I'm going to guess that there's more than one for many of us who are starting this practice, and then bracket them down.
You're gonna my favorite exercise.
Yes, exactly. Bracket them down and find what actually is the real winner.
And I have done that specific exercise in like conferences, meetings, etc., for a decade, and it
Mm-hmm.
has always served.
Yes.
You know, and to be clear, like bracket them down. So like a fantasy football type thing.
Yes. Yeah, like a sports.
So you're literally doing like, is it mom? Is it taking care of mom, or is it taking care of my child? Is it taking care of my health, or is it taking care of my child? Is it taking care of like my child, or is it building my business? Like literally, they end up competing one after the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what they are. They are competing priorities.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins today?
Exactly. Who wins today?
All right. So with that, I think we're on just the bit at the end. So we're looking at our long-term transits now. And these are the ones we shared before. We're going to just talk about the movement. So 37 to 40, that channel is currently on line 4. So it's shifted. The theme right now is leadership by example. And so versus leadership by hierarchy. So the funky version of this, literally in like the raw text says, leadership from the father. So it's like in the family unit, you accept the hierarchy of however you've designed your family unit. But this is a moment to really switch into leadership by example. Who is leading, who is providing, and looking to them as the leader. And the other 40 is in the theme of organization for deliverance. So much of the 40 is about freedom and deliverance is freedom. And so, how do you organize in a way that supports freedom for all? So, these are the themes as we continue to move through this transit. And then I think we have gate 8, which is another transit we wanted to highlight, especially for our artists and our creatives. For the next 2 months, we are transiting gate 8, and you will have access to gate 8. Jahjehan, I know you have this one all the time. Would you like to tell us a little bit about gate 8?
Well, this is my unconscious Jupiter, which is interesting. And gate 8 is in the throat center. It is really about expression, being in that throat center, and it connects to the other end, to gate 1, which I know you have, Shebala. And gate 1 is really, like, at its highest purpose, it's actually to be you, like to be the full expression of you. And that gate 8 comes through as the truth of you, to me, and the creative truth. In the gene keys, it's the gene key of, like, the gift is style, and it's like how you stand out. And I think in this day and age, it's like a lot of times some people will say the 1-8 is like the artist channel. I think it's actually the art of being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And how you stand out, the style of how you stand out, is by being the truest version of yourself that exists for you. I love Richard Rudd has a audio where he talks about this. It's different than in the book. And he talks about it like sometimes the style can be an artificial style of, like, I'm this, I'm bohemian, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm da da da, but you're not really yourself, because underneath all of that, there might be a person who's completely different. And so that gate 8 is really about expressing yourself, of knowing who you are and how you are here to uniquely express that.
Yeah, in Gene Keys, Richard Rudd calls it the diamond of self when we get into the city version of it, which is exquisiteness. And so it's very much like you are in the most exquisite version of yourself. He talks about 8 also as like rebels a little bit, like you might have a style that's ultimately rebellious because you're not fitting in with everyone else. But once you fully embody it and embody that creative expression, creative not because it's like recognized outside, but because you are yourself, and by function of being yourself, you are unique, and therefore the expression is unique, right?
Exactly.
Then you can get into that place. Chetan Parkin, when he talks about it, so I'm a 1.6, and when he talks about it like a hollow log. I don't remember where the log is, maybe in the forest. And so he's like, you just become art. And your log, the wind is passing through it and it's making music. And it's just happening and happening through you. And you don't even, I'm smiling at this for a million different reasons. You don't even like know. And I actually feel like the irony of this, he told me about this. And then for me, it's my North Node. And I just 40. And so I've been really stepping into this. And I remember when I first met Jane, this place was not pink. I did not have all these colors. I hadn't even fixed I have a very specific color palette now that's like me. It is the sunrise, sunset, depending on how you think about it. I think of it as a purple sunset with a little bit purple in it. But like all of that flowed through me through the process of like stepping into my whole everything. And now music is literally flowing out of me. And so it's just fun to like see that and see it emanating. And so that's the 1. And then you've got the 8 and this style. So like the 1 is that whole creative expression at the highest. And then the 8 has this style and this exquisiteness, but there's another level, which is the 8, They talk about it like the creative agent sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the 8 is going to connect the throat and the identity. Like the 8, when added with the 1, you get that connection of being able to voice, you know, voice
Yes.
to heart. And so what's beautiful for my ones right now is typically we would need like a Jahjehan or or like yeah, we typically
A
need a
connection to someone with an 8.
or something
Yes.
with an 8 to actually pull that out of us. But right now, for the next 2 months, universe is giving it to you. And right now we're in gate 4, currently in line 4. And this is also called the channel of inspiration. And so the creativity that emerges through you and that gets communicated out into the world, and the truth that comes through that, it inspires others.
Mm-hmm.
It's online 4, contributions by example that inspire others to make their own. Okay. If you're asking where this is coming from, it's me looking at the line placements in a couple different texts and then coming up with a Shebala version of it. And then it's in Uranus right now. And what's interesting about this is Uranus, so much of it is breakthrough, and then it's also out of the box sometimes. But the funky version of this is being out of the box for out of the box sake. And as a result, 8 at the highest is contribution, not being able to really contribute. And so this is merging uniqueness and out of the boxness with assimilation, or rather, I'm going to use integration,
Mm-hmm.
assimilation term that they use. And so this ability to be you and be the different, unique version of you, and also really integrate that in society. And
Yeah.
that's this really special moment that we're in. So, especially for my artists and for folks who have wanted to express but have felt misunderstood or felt even judged for how they show up in the world, this is really a moment to like tune into you and step out into the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Also, to know that if the judgment is there, it's sometimes like just straight up jealousy, because people are being inspired, but they don't know how to like process that. They don't know how to process this person in front of me is inspiring me. And so it gets processed in funky ways. Like, I am jealous of this person, or why are they doing that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And like the most creative thing that you can do is be you. That is. And that's it. It's like the 1/8 for me is the heart of the most creative thing you can do is be you and share your voice and your contributions with the world.
Yep. I love it. We're pretty much wrapped. It's funny. I said I was going to share spotlight energy. Oh, I know why. And I was like, why did I say that? So I was going to share this little song. We'll see if I do as we wrap. And it was because there is a line in it that says, so rise. But what I'll do with that is I'm actually going to share it in a different way. If you'd like to see it, I will make a commitment to add it to my website today.
Oh,
One of my new releases, Spotlight Energy, is written actually, it was inspired by a mentor that I had once. And she's moving through a different moment right now. And I wanted to share with her how powerful she is.
mm.
It's a very special song for me for that reason. And yeah, I encourage you to hang out, like check it out and take a look. And where you can find it is prosperityartist.com or shebala.com. There's now a section that says Chi Clearing Music. And if you click on it, you will be able to hear my first release. I'm still, we're having a gate 60 moment, still waiting for it to come out on streaming platforms and having some things go on there. But I started posting them online because I kept sending them to people. The player on Squarespace is a little interesting. So if you play it once, it will make you reload or like click back it won't show you that there's a back button. So just click around, you'll be able to navigate that. But you can play the medicine of vibe right now from my website. And after this pod, I will upload Spotlight Energy as well.
I love that.
And then I think we have another opportunity up here. Jahjehan, yeah, tell us about your course.
Well, if you go to my site, it's still hidden. But if you go under courses and go to the bottom tab, there's one called Cultivating in Creativity, a Year of Art. And it's something that I led a membership for a few years, where showing up to cultivate your creativity, to get into play, to flow with paints, to see what unfolded, was the purpose of this. It was not to make quote unquote beautiful art, but it was actually to get into that creative artist, that creative you that we all have within us. And honestly, a lot of the classes are almost a clearing for any preconceptions you might have about not being able to make art. And then there's projects such as, I have one for January that's up there. That's that middle slide where it is flowing with your intentions into the new year. And it's sort of uh, writing out and flowing and activating it with art. So a lot of this is art activation practice. And it is a full year of it. And it's all pre-recorded so that you don't have to, you can make art whenever the inspiration strikes you. All of the videos are about an hour to an hour and a half. And you can turn it on and off as you please and get creative whenever you want. And there's structure if you want it. And you can just click on whatever the heck you are feeling inspired to do, if that's the way you flow as well.
Amazing. And then that is it for the pod, this specific pod. Unless there's anything else you have to add, Jahjehan, or you'd like to add?
No, I think we've covered it, more than covered it.
So so next up on Prosperity Artists podcast, January 23rd, I will be having Queen Herbie come through. We're going to be doing her medicine map. Medicine map is my distillation of human design. No one has seen it except for Jahjehan, actually.
I'm excited for the world to see it.
And so we're gonna have Queen Herbie here. We're gonna be moving through her medicine map, and then Robert Bricks of Bricks Fitness, Bricks Glover, is going to be here on the 25th. So we'll be doing two almost back-to-back medicine maps for two very powerful people. We'll be talking about their placements and how it shows up in their design in a really cool visual way. And then we'll see, I might be able to get them on. I'll also talk about Prosperity Palette, which is how you use the medicine map out into the world. And I might get them back for that as well. I am super excited to share this with the world. And yeah, I love that we're doing Celestial Flow.
Yes.
I love that we are putting this information out there. If it's something that you are enjoying, please share. We come on, we spend 2 hours. We love on everyone. We put it out there and we'd like to continue it. And so give us feedback, comment, share, do the things that feel in alignment with you, and let us know.
Yeah, let us know how this is landing for you. And I know Shebala and I make up the 1333, which is why we end up telling you way more stories than we anticipated. And we trust that as we share from our hearts, it lands for you and opens up the conversations that you are needing to hear and have in your lives.
Yeah. And I'm not laughing. I'm like, cross of explanation.
My incarnation cross is the left angle cross of explanation. So yes, I'm coming in with the explanation.
And then also the Sleeping Phoenix is really about living your life at right pace and then sharing stories from your life that inspire others, right? And so that's the deal. And it's this thing where it's like, at some point in time, people get to be willing to sit down and share their wisdom.
Mm.
And it's something that we don't appreciate anymore. And then we try to like clip into like 10-second fragments.
Yeah.
And that's really not how this game works.
No.
Certainly not if you desire to have the spiritual growth and expansion, the connection, the depth of partnership, and the gifts that come from the universe. It's just not the deal.
It
And
is so true.
and so, you know, it's I sat with it, and this one's really important because now I'm seeing different people come out and really struggle with this. I was looking at Richard Rudd, actually. He's been publishing a lot about Gene Keys and how they've done their marketing strategy and changes they're making and this and that. And there's so many statements that come out where it's like, well, people don't want long form content and people don't want X, Y, and Z.
Mm.
And I've been listening to it and I'm like, wow, I feel like we have more and more folks who are at, deep levels of spiritual expansion, believing that their message needs to be altered for an algorithm.
Mm.
And that is not what will be done here.
That is actually not possible.
Because it's also not what we do in our lives.
Exactly.
And
I will
then,
not.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You go, please.
It's gone. Keep going.
Oh, well, I was going to say, when Shebala and I are in channel, you cannot cut the channel off. And so that is the thing. What needs to flow through will, which is why this is Celestial Flow, not Celestial 5.
Celestial go.
Celestial go. This is Celestial Flow.
And so with that, I'm happy we said that out loud. And there's a whole marketer in Melissa who wants to do things that. Mm-mm. And so I know that I just know, and I really know that more and more people will wake up and find time, and also, frankly, know that the moment they tap in is the right time. Yeah. And even if they came and just got a nugget, that's their nugget.
Yes.
And if they came and watched the whole thing, they have that. Or if they come back and say, "Ooh, I want to reference that one day," they can play it on Spotify or add it to their car or whatever it is. But I've binge watched Netflix too many times to know that I can find 2 hours if necessary.
Yes.
I've binge watched Netflix too many times to worry about how long this podcast is. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. And, I think it also, we're giving you permission to get into your own celestial flow, have your deep conversations with the people that are around you. Yeah. Because we're not in a hurry. We're not in a rush. Our life is coming into divine timing, and you are exactly on time. And whenever you arrive to where you need to be going is when you're going to get there.
There is no way to be late for your own life.
Exactly.
With that, we're going to put the cherry on this ice cream.
Yes.
This ice cream
100%.
And we will see you when we see you. This has been another episode of Celestial Flow. Have fun with that 41 transit and enjoy the rest of this moon. And for those of you who participated in this lovely candle, know it will be placed on an altar. We'll probably right back there with love. And your intentions will be sent off into this glowing universe that we live in.
Thank you.
Thank you.